Hi everyone, this is Hiba from My Little Journal, and today I'm going to be working in my project life. This is week 15, 2022. So for week 15, I'm going to be creating 2 spreads. This week, my daughter went to New York, so I have loads of photos that I want to document. So I decided to separate them and do the day-to-day on one spread and then Sabine's New York trip on the other. I also want to stick to my kits. I have a few kits from Studio Calico that I haven't been able to really use and dig into. So I decided that I'm gonna just stick to these few kits that I have on hand and try to use up whatever I can. Once I choose my cards, I'm gonna set my layout aside and start going through the kit to find little embellishments that I can use on my spread today. First off, I love these floral die cuts from the kit, and I'm trying to figure out how to use them on my title card. Now, I wanted something that was tall and not round just because I like the strips on this title card and I wanted to keep to the theme. And I found the perfect little flower. It was tall, it was beautiful. So I ended up using that one. I'm also going to use one of these acetate quotes as well, just to add a little something and create a little cluster for my title. And obviously, I'm going to use those alpha stickers to add week 15. By the way, I know a lot of people struggle using just their kit to create layouts, but I always say this. Try to make the kit work for you, not the other way around. Find your style within the kit. So if these flowers aren't your style, I would trim them down and cut them down and make them fit in, like maybe add them to the edge of your card. And that way you don't see a lot of it, but you're still using it. Anyways, let's move on. I'm gonna stamp a little something using the stamp set from the kit. I'm just gonna add a little bit of interest around my flower and call my title card done. I will use a chipboard for this photo. I don't want to cover it up, but I want to add a little color. So I'm going to use one of those triangles. I'm going to grab the stamp set again and just stamp a little something in that triangle. Again, I don't want to cover up that photo, so I don't want to add much to it. Now, this next 3x4 photo is just of my siblings and I. That whole week, we were invited to iftar almost daily, and it was so much fun. I just journaled about it, and I grabbed my Ramadan stamp sets to stamp Ramadan iftar. So basically, when I use my kit, I will try to use everything I can in the kit, but I also do go through my stamps and try to find things that fit into certain photos, and I'm okay with that as long as I'm using my kit more than I am going through my stash, and it saves you time. It's a great way to use your products if you stick to your kit and your kit only. Now, this photo is of Sabine the day she left to New York. I still wanted to include that in my day-to-day, so I just added a bit of journaling to my photo. I'm gonna end up adding a chipboard. I'm just using my washi tape to stick the card with the photo because these two are going in a 4x6 pocket, so I don't want them to move around. So I just end up using some washi tape, and that way I can just slip that in a 4x6 pocket. In Ramadan, I'm always taking pictures of our iftar, and I didn't want to cover this up. It's a really busy photo, but what I decided to do was use some of my Ramadan stamp sets to stamp little words around the plate. I love doing this. Obviously, we all know this is a Kelly Perky move, and I've ingrained it in my soul for years now, but I just love doing that. It just adds a little something to your meal photos, your plate. It's just a fun little way to add something to your plates. Anyways, we're moving on. I felt like I needed to add something to all these little circles from my cards, and I just end up using my enamel dots, which I never use, and it's a great way to use them up. I also want to use this card as a journaling card, and I have this stamp set, I believe from the Paper Person shop. So it has the days of the weeks with lines. So I thought this was perfect to kind of break down our week. And I just end up journaling about the week. I'll grab a yellow marker to add a little bit of color to the days of the week. And then I call this layout done, and we can move on to our second layout where I'm going to be documenting Sabine's trip to New York. So as you guys know, Sabine's orchestra, well, it's not her orchestra, but the orchestra she's at school was invited to go and play at Carnegie Hall in New York. It was a huge honor. It was something these kids were working really hard to do and perfect before they get there. They've been practicing for months, and I really wanted to document that moment in my project life. I am documenting it in a separate album for Sabine, but I also want to keep it for me too. So I tried to use as many pictures as possible from the pictures that was sent to me through Sabine and friends. So I ended up just choosing my favorites, and I made sure to choose a couple from Carnegie Hall. Anyways, I'm just gonna use some alphas to spell out Carnegie Hall across my photo, and I added a little yellow heart. From that same sticker sheet, there was a crown, so I go looking for it, and I'm just gonna end up adding that to Sabine with this picture of her orchestra director. They did get to do some sightseeing, so they went to the Statue of Liberty. I'm gonna use the stamp set from Kelly Perky, and it said New York. I'm just gonna stamp New York new on one side of the Statue of Liberty, and then stamp York on the opposite side. I was trying to figure out how to add that in, but I thought that was a nice little fun way to do that. And once I stamped that out, that picture is one of my favorites, by the way. It was the whole orchestra in that picture, and it's just so cute. But anyways, I'm moving on to this next one where all the kids were in Times Square. Such a cool photo. So I'm just going to end up adding a chipboard. I might go back and add a geotag right above Sabine so people can find her in the big crowd, but I love that picture. Let's move on to my last 4x6 pocket. So in this pocket, I'm going to be adding 2 3x4s, but I want to back up my 3x4 photo with this strip of color. I felt like it matched really well with the rest of my spread. As you can see, there's pops of that pink. So this is a great way to add color to your photo and use another 3x4 card on your spread. I'm using some washi tape to stick those two cards together, and basically that's going to go into a 4x6 pocket. I also want to add a little bit of black ink to this very pinkish card, and I'm just going to end up stamping a little something to go around my circle. Once I'm done with this card, I'm going to move on to my title card. So for my title card, I want to add a bunch of journaling. I want to break down their trip into days. It already had Monday through Sunday. I also thought it would be fun if I used little icons to represent each day. So basically, I stamped some luggage for packing day. I stamped an airplane for travel day. I also stamped like I love New York. Just little things that represent the day and what happened. And it took me a bit of time to go through my stamps and find the right stamp that would fit, but it was beautiful at the end. I love how it turned out, especially after I added my journaling. I won't be sharing my journaling with you guys because it's a little bit personal, but I just really love how this card turned out. I will finish it up by adding a little chipboard to add some more pink, and then I call my layout done. Don't forget, as always, I will be linking everything I use down in the description box for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Bye!